Welcome to Alex and the Show. We're inviting you to join us in exploring nerdiness in all its forms as we discuss sci-fi, fantasy, stories, and community. Alex and the Show will focus on how we bring people together and make a special place for Black nerds or blurs and all nerds in general. We hope to add to the culture by discussing all things nerd from an Afrofuturistic mindset. We want to discuss our love of nerd culture in a way that assumes Black people and all people of color belong, are valued, and add depth to the stories being told. Join us no matter where your nerd love takes you. We'll be discussing it all: Star Wars, Star Trek, board and video games, TV and movies, moments and movements in the culture, with as much coolness as we can muster. And with that, I'm Crystal Fox, your host today, and I'd like to turn it over to our cast to introduce themselves, but also to answer my icebreaker question of the night. What is a show or TV or TV show or movie that you'd like to see a remake of? You're ready for a remake of?
Okay. I'm Marcus Ross. I'm a tabletop game designer and a software engineer. And I guess one TV show or movie, The Running Man is coming out in November. They're doing a remake, and I can't wait to see that one.
Tell us what that's about.
So Running Man, the original one, was about convicts who were sentenced to death having the opportunity to earn freedom by going on a game show where they would be hunted down and possibly executed by the stalkers. And I think the remake is focusing more on just society's imbalances with money. So I'm looking forward to that and being more updated for timeliness.
I love it.
So my name is Alex B, the sole member of Alex B Illustrations. And I had to look up his name just so I didn't forget what it was. I want to see a remake of Rush Hour.
Oh.
Simu Liu and Damson Idris from Snowfall.
Interesting.
Yes. And it's going to be the funniest thing anybody's ever seen.
You've cast it already.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Would watch.
Would watch. I can see a remake. I am questioning your casting, but I'm not an expert, so we'll see.
All right, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
My name is Jade Rogers. I am the founder, chief innovation officer for the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls. So I couldn't. All right, so I was actually watching The Music Man the other night. I don't know if you all have even seen The Music Man. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I've heard those
Man with
words.
music, I'll tell you
I've
that.
heard those words in a sentence before.
It's an old movie. I can't think of her name. The mom from the Partridge Family. Shirley Jones. Thank you, Shirley Jones.
From the way back.
And I can never remember his name, but Buddy Hackett is also in it. Anyway,
Yes.
it is an old movie. It's a musical, but I love the music in The Music Man.
What's it about?
It's about a snake oil salesman that comes to somewhere in Iowa. I think it's originally supposed to be like Davenport. Anyway, somewhere in Iowa, and he gets off the train and he's a snake oil salesman. And he basically gets the town to believe that the kids in the town are being corrupted by this new pool hall. And they need to invest some money into a music program for these kids so that they can not be on the street and doing vile, vagrant things because of this pool hall. And of course, he's in the town and becomes a part of the town and falls in love with the librarian, who is Shirley Jones's character. I don't know. I love the movie. I
Is there a
love
scene
it.
where somebody hustles somebody in pool?
I don't even know if we get to the pool hall. But,
What?
But he's the people are out they're congregated in the street for something. I don't even know what it was. The mayor was talking about something. And he's like behind the rafters. They got pool and that pool is dangerous. And the people start, yeah, that pool is dangerous. Like he's just behind the scenes causing a problem.
The first movie about disinformation.
Yes. It's a cute movie though, and it's got really good music. So I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know who would be in it. My first thought was like Daveed Diggs, because it's a lot of music.
That's fun.
Music Man, there's a lot of songs.
Well, we all have to go out and watch that one now because
Right.
I have not seen it.
And a young Ron Howard.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sold, but that's fine.
Is an actor.
I'm fine. All right. And today we will be talking about sci-fi and fantasy, the basis for all things nerd mostly, and what makes you love each genre, what makes you hate it, how they overlap, how they're different, and then your favorite example from each. So first, Marcus, how would you define sci-fi?
Science fiction is speculation about the future. It's people living with just technology that's beyond our current capabilities and still being human and having to deal with the same problems we deal with. And it just gives you enough separation that you can focus on the types of issues that plague us today, but with just enough distance that like I can apply this message to my life, but it's different enough that I don't feel it directly.
I agree with that. I feel like sci-fi a lot of times is trying to answer contemporary questions, but to do it in a way where the fiction takes center stage. Like maybe the metaphor is a bit more veiled, but the things you're doing to get from point A to point B that I think make it different from fantasy is that there's kind of a glass ceiling over the possibilities. Like, yes, you can do anything as long as it stays under this umbrella. And I feel like that's what I really like about sci-fi is that I feel like from a writing standpoint, you kind of have to like pin yourself in a corner and then figure out how to get yourself back out of that.
I like that a lot. Jade, what do you think?
It has its base and core rooted in science, but the genre itself, there are degrees of science that are in the story. So I don't know, I can't even think of a soft science television show.
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, okay, that. Or I was thinking anything that just has a computer.
That can do a couple more things than we have today.
Right.
So sci-fi became popular in the early 20th century when technology started making like a huge impact on people's everyday lives. It started becoming like more present in the home and started becoming more present in their jobs. And so that's when people's imagination started taking off because those advancements were so fast. They were like, how much faster and how much further can we go? And so that I do love that thought. Like, it is imagination coupled with practicality, coupled with like, let's make the world the best we can make it. Sometimes people use technology for evil. We won't go down that road. But so what is a good example for you guys of like the best way in which sci-fi has been presented to you in movies, TVs, books? Ooh, Jade, it feels like your eyebrows.
Is the Jetsons
Great example.
sci-fi?
Yes. What's the hesitation here?
I'm gonna let her finish.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
I have George Jetson's job. I mean, you go to work, you press a button, that's it.
And Homer Simpson's job.
Way different.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Terrible at his job.
Homer Simpson didn't push the button, did he? What's an example for you?
I would say Jonathan Hickman's run of X-Men.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite example of sci-fi.
Why do you think X-Men fits into a sci-fi genre?
I think the basis for X-Men starts in genealogy. And I think when you base it on somebody's DNA, you kind of get like free permission to make this as science-y or as non-science-y as you want. As soon as we get into like gene pairs and eugenics and breeding, you start to also get into like the political commentary on what like gene therapy really is. But then you also have the X-Men who have to both deal with being like an other, deal with being what a refugee would be like, dealing with a person in a place with no place, no established home. And I feel like we start with the X-Men have superpowers, and that is the fantasy aspect. But the way that we deliver that and the consequences that come with that are the sci-fi aspect of it.
I can get behind that. Okay, I liked it. What about you, Marcus?
Mine's going to be the entirety of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Just
The whole thing.
All 7 seasons, the
I like it.
entirety. You start with Ben Sisko being assigned to this station. He's just lost his wife. He hates everybody. He hates the job. He's not even sure he's going to stay in Starfleet. And he ends up being this representative for the Bajorans within Starfleet, and they're never, ever actually accepted into the Federation. But he becomes so important to their culture. And it's really just deeply interesting science fiction. Like, the characters are interesting. They have real problems. It's the first Star Trek where the characters are allowed to have conflict with each other, and they very much do. And the storytelling is fantastic. And it's like, while, Next Generation has my heart, I can admit that DS9 is the superior ship.
Ooh, bold words. We'll see what you hear. We'll see what you hear back on that.
I was looking.
What is that?
It is not my favorite.
Deep Space Nine?
No.
I didn't
does
say
that
it was
mean?
my favorite. I said it's the best one.
Well, I mean,
Really?
well, okay, so I'm
Yes.
TOS and the
TOS.
next gen, and now Strange New Worlds is moving up there for me.
But I think TOS is nostalgic. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever have a place that moves.
Yeah, like it's just nostalgic. But when you think about quality of story and storytelling,
Yes, because
okay.
all of them, every iteration of Star Trek pulls from the original.
And does it better or no?
Well, Strange New Worlds is probably one of the best for me.
Okay. all right.
Deep Space Nine, I have a love-hate. I don't hate it, but they didn't go anywhere, so I wasn't as interested.
I hate that.
Oh, wait, you don't like that they're
Station.
stationary?
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
Even when they introduced,
No.
we're getting very
No.
deep into that. Even when they
No.
introduced the Dominion, I'm not gonna,
No.
we won't go there. For me, my example,
Yes. we almost
yeah.
we almost did it.
I'm not gonna do it to us. For me, my example is a book called Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Don't judge me if that's wrong. What has happened is they have conquered death. And so they take risks, they take challenges, and it does not matter because they can just be revived. But overpopulation is a thing, and so some people are designated as sites, and they have to reap the population. And they do not, before they become sites, they do not know the reason for which they are reaping. And this book kind of talks about what is value, what is worth, and how is it determined in a world where everyone can live, and what's the word I'm trying to say?
Disparity?
Thank you. Wealth disparity is not like a big deal in their society. So how do you determine worth? It's fantastic. Highly recommend. It's a series. Very long books, but really, really great.
Okay, so I have to go back because I was actually just asking a question.
Oh, I never got
Yeah,
your
you didn't say yours.
So
That's
we
true.
moved on. We moved on.
Because I was trying to think of what is a soft sci-fi show. And I would think that the Jetsons would fit that. Then I have 2. The Expanse, which is hard sci-fi,
It is.
and luscious. I almost started it again because it's just beautifully written, and the science makes you want to do science. It makes you want to know, is that thing actually possible? And you know that they're pulling from real science and consulting with scientists in the writing of the script. So, based on the books. So, Expanse would be my example. And Kindred by Octavia Butler.
Very good example.
Yes.
Very good example. Okay. What is your definition of fantasy, Jade?
It is fantastic.
Yes.
It is all things.
Yes.
There are no rules.
I don't like no rules. There's no limitations.
There's-
Is that different?
No, Alice in Wonderland, there's no rules.
Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense.
Gravity exists in Alice in
Gravity's
Wonderland.
a law.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't even know that's immutable in Alice in Wonderland.
That's true. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on from my definition. Okay. So there's no rules in fantasy.
Yes. And I love magic.
Yeah.
So anything that incorporates magic and making up something, making up a world, making up a language, making up a people, creating those things from whole cloth There may be a base for it, but it is something that is completely new. That is fantasy.
And for me, it can have rules, but they're just not based in science. They can just be based in whatever magic system they could devise.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think Brandon Sanderson's stuff is all like that. I
Yes.
haven't read it yet,
Miss
but it's
Bourne.
on my list. It's
Oh, highly
next.
recommend Miss Bourne because
Okay,
it is
great.
exactly
I
that.
need to know where to start.
Yeah,
so
Miss Bourne's the place to
that'll be
start.
the thing I do.
Very much enjoy Brandon Sanderson and all of his work. Very highly recommend. Miss Bourne's a great place to start. And that is exactly what it is fantasy, and it's what I like. He creates these rules, and then they have to operate within them to achieve their goals. I like all the, new maps that they make. I love a book with a map.
Is this an infographic?
Yeah, I love it. I'm down. And I think that's what makes fantasy fun for me too. And you kind of described it though, even when you talked about sci-fi, is that they create their own box. And that box is fantastical and fun and weird. But then they have to live in it. And that's what there are some books where you're like, you didn't say that was a rule before. You just made that up right now. And I don't like that. But I like when they create these worlds and I can follow them go to Mount Evermore-tastic. And I'm like,
We're doomed.
Yes, and we're all there together. I very much enjoy that. What about you, Marcus?
Fantasy for me, it's like, is there a magic wand? Is there a flying unicorn? Do I not have credits? I've got gold pieces.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I love that.
it's just a little bit of, they tell the same types of stories. It's just, how do you want to dress it up?
Yeah. And I think that's important is like, how do we dress these, like, the best stories are still human stories or still things that we can relate to, but it's really cool to read it through the eyes of a dwarf. I don't know why. I just love it. I just really, really love it. What's your best example of fantasy?
I would say, what is that movie from Hayao Miyazaki? Spirited Away.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Spirited Away is probably one of my all-time favorite fantasies, and I feel like when Jade says like there's no rules, I feel like another way to call it would be chaos.
Okay.
That chaos plays a factor in the way that some of these things work, where it's not really necessary to like dig into how a magic wand works. I point it and it shoots. I feel like in a way that's chaos.
Okay.
Where the audience suspends their disbelief enough,
Yeah.
they will just accept
That magic wand's
that works.
magic, yeah.
When the I don't remember what his name was. It's not the Shadow Man and
not in Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. He has the mask, the masked man. He like throws up those coins, and nobody really asks where the coins came from. He's just a ghost who can
does that?
do that.
Yeah,
Know.
that's a great point.
I feel like we were talking about last episode. Where's Doctor Strange's place in Marvel? But I feel like Marvel does like a hybrid thing. The more that I think about it, where Doctor Strange can do his thing and Iron Man can do his thing, and the only time it's peanut butter and jelly is when they have to be in the same scene at the same time. But Doctor Strange comics are very much like I wish I remember his name. Did like the Gonzo paintings, the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the artist who did that cover. It's a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of artists who really get to play
Yeah.
with the way they want to depict those pictures. But if you're drawing Iron Man, you need to have a skill level in technical drawing. But they both get permission to play in the same world. So
Yeah.
I guess it's like a hybrid more than it's.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like
That
that
point
too.
right there is what bothered me about Ironheart. Is like, we're doing the science fiction, then you got to the end and we're just like,
Discuss Ironheart.
Right
that's
now.
right. That's interesting. Thank you for saying that. You're a great host. How do we meld those two things together? But Jade, before we move on, what's a good example of fantasy? Did I ask you that?
I don't know why I keep thinking of childhood things because you were talking about magic and I thought Gargamel from Smurfs. I don't know where that came
what?
from.
What a terrible.
The Smurfs?
What a dark memory.
I know. I know. I don't know where that came from. But that's not my example.
Okay.
Okay, so my example of fantasy. Oh my God. Or do I go back to The Never Ending Story, which was also traumatic?
That's a scary movie.
It was so traumatic.
What a terrifying
when you
dog.
watched it?
So traumatic.
I was at least 5. Yeah.
The dog terrified
The
me.
dog, yeah, the dragon.
I was
The dragon, the
Dog
scales.
face.
Okay, all right.
Scales,
Yes.
they did trip me out. I loved them.
Giant
With the
writing
human
on it.
tripped me out. Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why they did that.
This is
A lot.
magic.
And Atreyu, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know what
It's more like a what is sleep paralysis?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, get all this away from me.
Is that going to be your example though, Jade? Are you sticking with?
I'm gonna say Lord
Jade
of
has
the
had
Rings.
3.
Lord of the Rings.
I want to say Lord of the Rings.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like Lord of the Rings.
yeah. I'm gonna pull that. 'Cause
Okay, I can
that's
give that.
one. I can read it, but I'm more likely gonna watch it
Yes,
again
I love
and
Two
watch
Towers.
all of them together.
extended cuts.
Yes, the extended cuts.
Yeah,
A lot of
And
walking.
read the compendium.
a lot of walking.
Yes.
Okay, so we've talked about what we love about both of these genres. Tell me something that kind of, hits you in the funny bone a little bit. What's something that you can't get behind in fantasy and or sci-fi? Like I've told you, for me, mine is if they break their own rules or they introduce a new rule halfway through a story just to get out of something they created within their own story. I can't deal.
That's how I feel. This is a tangent, and I'm going to answer the question.
Okay.
But do you
Be
remember
patient.
when Kung Fu Panda said skadoosh in Kung Fu Panda, and he had not said skadoosh that entire movie? And he like kills the main villain, and he says skadoosh.
Yeah.
I was like, that man never said skadoosh. That never happened.
When did he learn
We don't
skadoosh?
know what skadoosh means. That really made me angry. So no, I completely agree with you. It was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
Great cartoon.
You never said that. You never said that.
But I just have a
Yeah.
point to make.
No, I don't like when fantasy breaks their own rules either. Fantasy does a really good job at like writing the character into a corner and then being like, oh, psych, and he just like cherry picks him out and saves the day.
Yeah.
Sci-fi's a little harder at breaking their own rules, but sci-fi usually does stuff like really bad endings.
Yeah.
Like the story's really great, and then the ending is just kind of like,
And
yeah.
Murderbot.
done.
Right.
Murderbot.
Yeah, the ending of Murderbot was.
I thought that was a great ending. for
I'm
Murderbot.
talking about the book. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But she wrote one too many. That's a personal opinion. That's a personal opinion. But yes,
Okay.
Again, we won't do it to you guys right now, but one day we may talk to you about
What
Murderbot.
are we
in depth.
even here for?
So what's a sci-fi rule or something that irks you when they do it wrong in sci-fi?
Yeah, definitely not landing the ship when you've told a great story. You
Yeah.
get to the end and you just peter out.
and then the president came and he fixed it.
No,
What's an example? Can you guys think of an example?
can't think of it like
Jade, I'll let you guys think while Jade answers. What's an irk for you in sci-fi?
I mean, I wasn't in.
Oh, you were ready?
I wasn't in Game of Thrones fandom, but I hear that people did not enjoy how that ended. But that's fantasy.
So yeah, I'll come back to that. So in sci-fi, I think not sticking the landing, and doing too much,
That's for me for sci-fi.
milking the cow.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Like you didn't have to invent a new wheel. Like
No.
wheels are fine.
Yeah.
You could have spent that time doing other kind of scientific inventions.
Or
we don't longer
relying-
use wheels anymore. Oh,
Or relying too much on what other creators have made.
interesting.
Like Immortal, I don't know, Dark Engine, I don't know what that.
Immortal Instruments? No, Immortal.
No,
What are you
I don't
thinking? Okay,
even-
let's move on.
I've got an answer now.
Ooh, I'm ready.
It's like the thing I can't stand in sci-fi is when they feel the need to explain in minute detail a concept that if you're familiar with sci-fi, you don't need explained to you. I don't need time dilation explained to me again. I don't need time travel explained to me again. I just tell the story. I will catch up.
Just Peter Parker got bit by a spider.
Oh,
Shut up. We know.
but you've not seen the spider.
Listen.
You didn't get close to the spider.
I prefer to be tossed into the middle of the story and just,
Yes.
I will catch up.
Interesting.
You don't
Same.
know how much sweat he had.
That's
Based
true.
on the disease that he got.
That's true. I have to
from
see the
spider.
convulsions.
Right.
Where would I be without them?
And Uncle Ben. If you don't see Uncle Ben,
And listen,
If you don't see him die, how can you
let's
relate?
open the movie at Uncle Ben's
Okay.
grave, and we can pretend that we did all of it.
Oh man, this
Perfect.
is heartless. This is a heartless conversation. I'm all for seeing Uncle Ben die every time.
Wow.
Is that more heartless?
Yeah,
I can't it.
Yeah.
For the new generation of fandom, they have to be able to feel those emotions, guys. What are we? Oh,
I can watch the show before.
Like
the little baby.
catch up.
the originals exist. You can go watch them.
Yeah.
You're wishing Toby Maguire on folks? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I love those. I love them.
I like that. Getting spicy up there.
Oh, man. So we have talked about our favorite example of sci-fi and fantasies, what works, what we love and what doesn't, what we don't love. And we've talked about,
Did we do the fantasy?
oh no, we didn't. You didn't do your fantasy. What? Oh, only I did fantasy actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bad hosting. What is a fantasy that didn't work for you?
Didn't work for me. I don't even know.
What's
Oh,
a fantasy that didn't work for you? Anybody?
Pass. I was going the other way.
I am reading some Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange that is terrible right now. If you are reading any comics from Marvel between 2015 and 2016, they're all terrible. They're all
This is very
terrible.
niche, Alex. I just want you to
I've
know,
never-
like, you're talking to one person.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. There's just something that they're doing where they're like, you really should care about this thing. And as somebody who reads comics in 2025 and 2016, I'm like, this doesn't matter. I know for a fact it doesn't matter. This never comes up ever again.
And they're not doing enough in those books to really draw you into the story, even though, okay.
Yeah.
I-
Pretending the stakes are high and the stakes aren't really.
I do not like when they drop a storyline, for sure. Well, we didn't get to everyone tonight to talk about their fantasy irks, but that's okay. This conversation will continue, and we hope you will join us as we have these conversations throughout the rest of this year and beyond. The house, again, is about how we bring people together to talk about their love of all things nerddom. We'd love to hear from you about whether you are a sci-fi or fantasy lover and what you would choose for the rest of your life. At this point, we hope that you stay nerdy, Omaha.